Hello viewers, welcome to the channel Study from Home. So before starting, I would like to say that in this pandemic situation, there has been a hold on everything. But one thing that can't be stopped is our power to gain knowledge. So by providing a helping hand to all our young personalities is the most needed what I thought. Now coming to the study part. This is the first chapter of biology, the fundamental unit of life, according to Cbse syllabus. So the chapter starts with the introduction of Robert Hooke, who discovered cell in 1665 while examining a thin slice of cork. Coming to the activity part, to the best of my knowledge, I think that the activities or experiments are for extra knowledge and fun time. So for the time being, I am skipping the activity, but if you do require, then please let me know on the comment section. Now coming to the second page, which gives the brief about all the various biologists starting from Robert Hooke in 1665 who discovered cell, and also by Leeuwenhoek in 1674 who with the help of improved microscope discovered the free living cell. It was Robert Brown in 1831 who discovered the nucleus, and Purkinje in 1839 who coined the term protoplasm. Our two renowned biologists, Sheldon and Shawn, presented the cell theory, which was further expanded by Virtue. It was with the help of electron microscope that we could know about the various complex structure within the cell and its functions, which is not visible through the naked eye. So now the further paragraph here states the definition of unicellular and multicellular organism. As we can know, the example here of the unicellular is given, that is amoeba, chlamydomonas, paramecium and bacteria. And those of multicellular are fungi, plants and animals. So let me just share with you some differentiation between unicellular and multicellular organism. So the unicellular, as its name suggests, it is composed of single cell and is having short lifespan, whereas multicellular is composed of more than one cell and has longer lifespan. The unicellular is irregular in shape and has a simple body structure, whereas a multicellular is definite in shape and has complex body structure. The unicellular is microscopic in nature, which is not visible through naked eyes and has no cell differentiation, whereas the multicellular is macroscopic in nature and cell differentiation does takes place. In unicellular, asexual reproduction takes place and it depends on autotroph or heterotroph, whereas multicellular, it has both sexual and asexual reproduction and both autotroph and heterotrophs depends on it. Unicellular, it includes both eukaryotes and prokaryotes, whereas multicellular includes only eukaryotes. The total cell body is exposed to the environment in the case of unicellular, whereas in multicellular, it does have, the total body does have an outer cell wall which is exposed to the environment. So the unicellular division of label is only at organelle level, whereas multicellular, the division of label is at cellular, tissue, organ and organ system level. So now coming to the unicellular part, as we can see, every multicellular organism, they have their pre-existing cell. As the multicellular, it starts dividing from all its stages. So the previous initial stage is known as pre-existing cell. Now coming to the third page, which shows the perfect example of amoeba, depending upon its shape and size and its functions. So it has also, the paragraph has also given the example of human body that has a heart to pump blood and stomach to digest food and so on. According to their shape, they have their own functions, they build their own strength. Now coming to figure 5.2, which is written, what is cell made up of and what is the structural organization of cell? So as the paragraph suggests here that the three most features of a cell coming here is plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. So the first most cell is plasma membrane. So plasma membrane, let me take your diagram part where you can have a better understanding. So this is the animal cell. We can see the animal cell. The animal cell is first of plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane part. This is the cytoplasm, bluish part is cytoplasm, and this one is nucleus. So, coming back to plasma membrane, yeah, that's here. So this paragraph states that plasma membrane, also called as selectively permeable membrane or cell membrane, because it acts like a boundary of the cell, differentiating the cell organelles from the external environment. It acts as a physical barrier. Now, why it has been given the name of a selectively permeable membrane? Because it enhances the process of diffusion. Diffusion process does take place here. Diffusion enhances the gaseous exchange, as I said. So let us take the example of the cell where the percentage of CO2, which is also regarded as cellular waste, is presented as a very higher percentage, and concentration of oxygen inside the cell is low. So according to the law of diffusion, to ease out the difference, the CO2 moves out to a lower region concentration, and the same happens with the oxygen. So to have a stable environment between the cell and the medium, the diffusion process does to take place. So the gaseous exchange is known as diffusion, whereas the water exchange is known as osmosis. As we can see, this is the paragraph here, which states that where the water passages flows from higher concentration region to a lower concentration region. So coming here the next three conditions, where it has shown that what does happen to an cell when it is comes under sugar or salt solution. So the first condition, coming to the condition 1, which very well explains the hypotonic solution, where the medium surrounding the cell is very dilute, to which water concentration outside the cell is high, that leads to pull water from the surrounding, and it results in swelling up of the cell. So basically it means that the medium which is surrounding the cell are having higher concentration of water. So that's why the cell that is surrounded by the medium is having lower concentration. So according to make the environment stable, the cell, it pulls out all the water from the medium, and this results in swelling up of the cell. Now coming to condition 2, where the medium surrounding the cell is compared to the cell. The medium surrounding the cell is compared to the cell. So in this case, what happened? The movement of water, will be no movement of water, because exactly they are having the same water concentration, and such solution is known as isotonic solution, as there will be no shrinkage of cell or swelling up of the cell. The cell will stay as the size it is. Now coming to the third condition, the concentration of water is more in the cell as compared to that of the surrounding medium, which results in loss of water from the cell, and this condition is known as hypertonic solution, as the water goes out from the cell, so it will lead to shrinkage of the cell. One example of osmosis is given here is absorption of water by plant roots is an also example of osmosis. So in this case, what happened when we do water to the plants, the plant roots, they absorb the water from the soil. So by the process of osmosis, the plant does take the water. Then coming to the plasma membrane, which is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins, which is visible by electron microscope. And the cell wall of the membrane, they have the ability to engulf food from the outer environment, and this process is known as endocytosis. And one of the example is amoeba. Now coming to cell wall which covers the plasma membrane part. So the outermost covering of the cell which covers the plasma membrane is made of cellulose, which helps in providing structural strength to the plant. So this is the cellulose. Now see the complex, it is complex substance and provides structural strength to the plant. The paragraph has well explained the theory of plasmolysis, that states the contraction of protoplast of the plant as a result of loss of water from the cell. So plasmolysis happens where there is a shrinkage of water from the plant due to a process of osmosis. So plasmolysis occurs due to osmosis only. So some of the function of the cell wall which I will tell you are, it provides support and control the direction of cell and growth. It helps to withstand a Tugger pressure. Now, what is the Tugger pressure? It is the force exerted by the cell organelles against the plasma membrane of the cell wall. It helps to remain erect. Due to struggle pressure, the plant remains erect and rigid, but it does not happen to burst the plant. It also helps to regulate growth and diffusion. Now coming to the second most feature, that is nucleus. So nucleus, as the paragraph states here, is a membrane-bound organelle that contains genetic material DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. The function of nuclear membrane is somewhat similar to that of the plasma membrane because of the transfer of material inside and outside the cell. This is the function in which both nuclear membrane and plasma membrane does the same function. So the nucleus is composed of chromosome. So the nucleus is composed of chromosome, and the chromosome is composed of a thread-like structure that are made up of strands of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, and histone proteins. Chromosomes, they are generally tightly packed and makes it possible for a very large amount of genetic material to be contained in such a small space. So they are very tiny thread-like structure which contains DNA, and due to this DNA we could know the genetic material. So nucleus plays a very crucial part as it's in cell division or cell reproduction. It is generally present in eukaryotic cell. So nucleus, as the further in the paragraph, it states about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So basically this prokaryotic cell is is somewhat different from the eukaryotic cell because there is no nucleus present in the prokaryote cell, whereas nucleus there is present in the eukaryote cell. So here is given the difference between the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. So normally this human body cell, these are all eukaryotic cell because they do have nucleus and they are surrounded by a nuclear membrane, which is not the same in the case of prokaryotic. And the prokaryotic, they have single chromosome, which is in eukaryotic they have more than one chromosome. In prokaryotic, membrane bound organelles are absent, where it is not the same in the eukaryotic, and this lack of cytoplasmic organelle. In eukaryotic, this presence of cytoplasm, and the prokaryotes are small in size and the eukaryotic, as it states, it is a large in size. Now coming to the third most feature, that is cytoplasm. So as I have referred to the diagram before, let me take you once more to the diagram part. Yeah, this is the diagram. So we can see the light bluish part. This is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm, this is the medium between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. So in this cytoplasm, there are various function organelles composed of special cell organelles. So we can see the various organs here: Golgi apparatus, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, centriole, lysosome, ribosome, mitochondria, and all. So this is all for today, and I wish all the best for your future, and thank you so much, and please just do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Study from Home. Meet you next time. Thank you.